Hi guys, so today we're going to be doing inequality word problems. We're going to be applying what we learned about solving inequalities to real life situations. Okay, so first we're going to start here by representing each of the following as an algebraic inequality and solve it if possible. Okay, so here it first tells me that x is at most 30. And what that means, if x is at most 30, x has to either be less than 30 or equal to 30. Okay? So here, this at most actually means less than or equal to. Okay? The next one here says the sum of 5x and 2x is at least 14. So sum, we know, means addition. So here I'm going to add up 5x plus 2x. And since it says at least, that means the smallest amount is 14. So it means it has to be either greater than or equal to 14. Okay. And then after that, if I wanted to solve it, I could. I'm going to combine like terms here. So 5x plus 2x is 7x. Greater than or equal to 14. Since this is 7 times x, I'm going to get rid of it by dividing by 7. And here I have x is greater than or equal to 2. Okay. The next one here says the product of x and y. So product we know is multiplication. So I am multiplying x and y. Okay. And this is less than or equal to, so less than or equal to 4. So product means multiplication, and then that less than or equal to is this symbol. And the last one here is 5 less than a number y is under 20. So y, and I want 5 less than that, so I'm going to subtract 5. And if it is under 20, that means it is less than 20. So here, 5 less than a number is this. And then because it tells me that it is under 20, going to be less than 20. Okay. So this is just some things where we're putting it from words into an equation, or in this case an inequality. Okay. This is an application to something potentially in real life. Okay. So here I know that the cost of a gallon of orange juice is $3.50. You have $15. I want to know what is the maximum number of containers you can buy for $15. Okay. So here my question is asking me about the maximum number of containers. So here I'm going to define my variable. Since I want to know the number of containers, x is going to be the number of orange juice containers. It's important to define your variable because you know what you're solving for, and then when you're done solving it, you know what it means. Okay? So here I know that each gallon is $3.50, right? So if I had one orange juice container, it'll be $3.50. If I had two, it'd be $3.50 times 2, etc. So $3.50 times the amount of containers I have, this will tell me how much I need to pay. So since I have $15, I can't spend more than I have. So whatever I need to pay needs to be less than or equal to what I have. So here, cost of a gallon of orange juice is $3.50. Okay, I have $15. Again, I can't spend more than that, and so that's why it's less than or equal to 15. And now all I have to do is solve it. So since this is $3.50 times x, I'm going to get rid of it by dividing by $3.50. When I do, $3.50 divided by $3.50 is 1. That leaves me with 1x. Is less than or equal to 15 divided by 350 is 4.286, so on and so forth. Okay? And so what this means, I can't buy 4.286 gallons of orange juice, right? And since I need less than that, the maximum number of containers of orange juice I can buy is 4. And there you go. Okay, the reason why it can't be 5 is if I plugged in 5 here, it would end up being greater than $15, which is more than I have. Okay. So let's flip. Okay, so here, Adrian works in New York City, makes $42 per hour. She works in an office and must get her suit dry cleaned every day for $75. If she wants to make more than $260 a day, at least how many hours must she work? Okay, so here we're finding the amount of hours that she's working, and so I'm going to make X the number of work hours. Okay, so what you define your variable is what you're looking for, right? So here, since I want to find out how many hours must she work, that's going to be what my variable stands for. Okay, so let's figure out how much money she makes. So she makes $42 every hour. So that means if I take 42 and multiply it by the amount of hours she works, that's how much money she's making. Okay. She makes 42 per hour. So if I do 42 times however much she works, that will give me how much she's making, right? She works 1 hour, 42 times 1. She works 2 hours, 42 times 2. She made $84, etc. Okay. However, we find that she's spending money every single day on dry cleaning. So this is where she's spending money. And so since she's spending money, she needs to take away money from which she earned. So we have to take away $75 from what she's earning. Okay. We know that she wants to make more than $260 a day, so that means whatever she's making minus what it costs to be dry cleaning has to be greater than $260. Right? So oftentimes students tell me that they struggle with word problems, but really what it is reading comprehension. Do you understand what the words mean, what they're saying, right? The better you are at reading comprehension, the better you will be able to write our equation. Okay, so now all I have to do is solve. So the first thing I'm going to do, since this is minus 75, I'm going to add 75 on both sides. Okay. So here I'm left with 42x because minus 75 plus 75 is 0. Adding 0 doesn't do anything. Okay. 260 plus 75 gives me 335. This is 42 times x, so divide by 42. 42 divided by 42 is 1, so this leaves me with 1x is greater than 335 divided by 42 is 7.976, okay? And it's not like she can only work 0.976 hours, so what we're going to do, since it needs to be greater than that, we're going to say that Adrian needs to work at least 8 hours a day. So let's do the next one. So here, Chris is celebrating his birthday at the fair with his friends. He wants to pre-order the fair tickets online. Each ticket costs $15 and there is a flat online service fee of $12. If we can spend no more than $100, can he invite 6 friends? Okay, so let's define our variable. So we want to know if he can invite 6 friends. So let's see how many friends he can invite. Okay, so X here, we're going to make it the number of friends or the number of tickets he can buy. Oh, let's actually make it the number of tickets. Okay? Because he also has to include himself, right? So let's put X as the number of tickets. Okay, so let's break down the problem. So he's celebrating his birthday at the fair with his friends. That's why he's buying tickets. He's pre-ordering them. We know that each ticket costs $15. So if I do 15 times the number of tickets, that's how much we are spending on tickets. Right? So we know each ticket costs $15, and so if we do 15 times the number of tickets we buy, that's how much we're spending on tickets. Okay? What else are we spending money on? So we know that there's also a flat online service fee of $12, so no matter how many he buys, he's going to at least be charged an extra $12. And then we know how much money does he have. He has $100, and we know that he can't spend more than he has. So however much the tickets cost plus that online service fee has to be less than or equal to that $100, because that's all the money he has. Okay? And then after that, once we set it up, that's the hardest part, we just need to solve. So since this is plus 12, I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. 12 minus 12 is 0, leaving me with just 15x plus 0, which is 15x. And then 100 minus 12 is 88. And then the last part here, this is 15 times x, so I'm going to get rid of it by dividing by 15. 15 divided by 15 is 1, so this becomes 1x is less than or equal to 88 divided by 15 ends up being 5.866666 forever. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so can Chris invite 6 friends? Okay, so the answer here is no, right? And we're going to run out of space. So Chris cannot invite 6 friends. And the reason why is because how many tickets can he buy? So if x is the number of tickets, right, not number of friends, x is the number of tickets, the most tickets he can buy is 5, right? So he can't buy 6 and himself. So Chris cannot invite 6 friends. The reason is because, right, he can only buy 5 tickets. So really he can only invite 4 friends because 1 ticket is for himself. Here's the next one. Okay, so Carla is deciding whether or not she should become a member at the gym to use their basketball courts. The membership cost is $135. Members pay $2 to rent out the basketball courts each time. Non-members can also rent the court, but they have to pay $11 each time. We want to know how many times would Carla need to rent the court in order for it to be cheaper to be a member than a non-member. Okay, so we want to know how many times, right? How many times would Carla need to rent the court? Okay, so that's what I'm going to define my variable as. So x would be the number of times Carla rents the court. Okay. So my variable is what I'm looking for. Okay, so we want to compare membership fee and non-member, right? So here I want member and non-member, right? And we want it so that way being a member is cheaper, right? So it has to be less than being a non-member. Okay, so what are we spending if we do a members? Okay, so members have to pay a membership cost, right? And that happens to be $135. So they have to spend that, $135, okay? Members also have to pay to rent the court. How much does it cost for them to rent the court? It costs them $2 to rent out, right? Members can rent it for $2. So if we do x as the number of time Carla rents the court, 2x would be how much money she's spending. Right? So 2 times x. Okay? So this is my membership. Membership fee, membership cost to rent the court. And we want it to be less than, right? Because if we want it to be cheaper, we want it to be less than what it would cost to be a non-member. Right? Here, we know that non-members have to pay $11 each time. So whereas they don't have a membership fee, though, their price is a little higher for the renting, and that is $11, right? So 11 times x would tell us how much they have to pay. Okay? So let us solve this. So since I have variables on both sides, I'm going to move it all to one side first. So I'm going to move this 2x over by subtracting 2x. 2x minus 2x is 0, leaving me with 135. 11 minus 2x is 9x. Then here, since this is 9 times x, I'm going to get rid of it by dividing by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1, so 1x. 135 divided by 9 is 15, so 15 is less than x, or in other words, if 15 is less than x, another way to write it is x is greater than 15. Okay. So what does this mean? It means that Carla needs to rent the court more than 15 times. Right? In order for it to be cheaper to be a member. Okay, and so here's my answer. And let's do the last one. So here, a store is offering a $30 mail-in rebate on all color printers. Louis is looking at different color printers that range from $175 to $260. How much can he expect to spend after the rebate, right? So we know that he's looking, right? So X here is how much he's going to expect to spend. So we know that currently the price range is $175, between $175 and $260. Okay. So X is how much he expects to spend, right? And he's going to get a $30 rebate, which means later on he's going to take away this 30 away from each of the original costs. Okay. So let me show you where I got the information. So $30 mail-in rebate. Okay, which means later he's going to take away 30 from the original cost. Okay, and then we also know that the price range he was looking for is between 175 and 260. Okay, so that's why it looks like this. Okay, all I have to do is solve now. Subtract 30, subtract 30, subtract 30. This is a compound inequality, so it has 3 sides. Okay. 175 minus 30 is 145. Then 30 minus 30 is 0, so x plus 0 is just x. And then 260 minus 30 is 230. Okay, and so what this tells us is that Louis can expect to spend between $145 and $230. And that's it for today. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye, guys.